It's like the worst thing they could have possibly done to me was to fire me from my own show and let other people write my life story. I'm not going to watch it, and I'm not going to condemn it or say anything bad about it either. I'm just moving on from it. Because I've always been a go-getter, and now I'm I don't know what I am.
In Hollywood, the fall from grace can be swift and merciless. Roseanne Barr's story exemplifies how quickly the industry can turn on its own, especially when they step out of line. The power dynamics at play reveal a system designed to reward compliance and punish dissent. Her journey from television icon to industry outcast offers a unique window into the true nature of Hollywood relationships.
Well, I was at my mom's house in Salt Lake, and, I was very happy, and, my show was #1 after 20 years to come back and be #1, and not just be #1, but 28 million people watched it. So I was in a happy place.
The heights of success in Hollywood can be dizzying, but they often prove precarious. Barr's comeback story seemed like a fairy tale return to television greatness. No one could have predicted how quickly everything would change. The industry that had welcomed her back would soon reveal its darker side.
I had a thing saying I had 24 hours to cure anything I said which would be taken as offensive by the advertisers.
Oh, boy.
So...
Did they tell you couldn't?
Yeah, they told me I could not have those 24 hours. I could not be allowed on any of their other programs, which, I go, hey, put me on The View or Jimmy Kimmel. Those guys have both done blackface, so obviously you got double standards on your racism.
The hypocrisy of Hollywood's moral standards becomes evident when examining how different personalities are treated for similar transgressions. What might be career-ending for one person becomes merely a stumbling block for another, depending on their position within the industry's power structure. The selective enforcement of moral standards reveals deeper issues within the entertainment world. These double standards would become painfully clear in Barr's case.
I really relate to what you said about, it separated you from them, and that was a good thing, because I don't like cancel culture, but I also see the silver lining of it, which is generally it separates someone from a company they didn't belong at to begin with.
The experience of being canceled often reveals the true nature of industry relationships. What seemed like genuine friendships are exposed as mere business arrangements. For Barr, this revelation would prove both painful and illuminating. The silver lining, if there was one, was the clarity it brought about who her real allies were.
And it was characterized as racist, which just made my stomach fall to my feet. And then the network called and said, what possible excuse can you have for something you've done which is unforgivable, and some other word that I can't remember. And then I said, I'd be happy to go on all the ABC shows and explain it and apologize. But they said no, I wasn't allowed to do that.
When controversy struck, the machinery of Hollywood's damage control kicked into high gear. The speed and finality of the decision-making process left no room for explanation or context. The industry's response revealed how quickly decades of success could be erased. What followed was a masterclass in how Hollywood handles those who step outside acceptable boundaries.
She was taking some of her pals there, and they was going over to stand in a woman who had her own television show and made the unfortunate mistake of wearing a fur.
The culture of public shaming and moral grandstanding in Hollywood has a long history. Those who achieve success often find themselves targets of their peers' righteousness. The industry's tendency to eat its own reveals a deeper pathology within the entertainment world. These dynamics would later come full circle in Barr's own experience.
I felt like they killed my character and my character, but I thought they were sending a message over the airwaves because they knew I had mental health issues. I thought they wanted me to kill myself, and all my friends did too. They said, they're trying to push you to suicide. And Norm MacDonald, who was a good friend, died, he said, I think they're trying to push you to suicide. And Bob Einstein, he also died during that time. He was a very good friend. He called me, he said, this is just unprecedented. It's evil what they're doing to you.
The personal toll of Hollywood's cancel culture extends far beyond professional consequences. The isolation and public shaming can have devastating effects on mental health and personal well-being. Those who've experienced it firsthand, like Barr, often describe it as a form of psychological warfare. Even fellow comedians and industry veterans recognize the unprecedented nature of her treatment.
I've got a lot of time for real life stuff, like just going for a walk with my mom and having an ice cream cone, stuff like that, waiting in lines. I've really been sleeping a lot, like probably 17 hours a day. Started smoking, very bad move. There's a backstory to everybody who creates something. You know, the pain of living life and the things you may have gone through to, you know, create that joke or that situation or that family.
The sudden shift from being a television powerhouse to persona non grata forced Barr to confront a new reality. The transition wasn't just professional, it affected every aspect of her daily life. The experience led her to reflect on the personal costs of creating entertainment in an industry that can be both nurturing and destructive. Her story became a cautionary tale about the price of success in Hollywood.
Anybody who speaks out and says anything having to do with the truth, that's why you've got to mix it in with bullshit. This is what I tell you, you know. You got to give only a certain amount of truth with a whole bunch of bullshit behind it. Otherwise, they can sue you. Because you know what? I did sue the tabloids of America under RICO, and I did win, although I did sign an NDA never to discuss the terms, but I did win under RICO because it ain't nothing but organized crime, all of it.
Through her experiences, Barr came to view Hollywood as a system designed to control narratives and silence dissent. Her legal battles with the tabloids revealed the interconnected nature of media and entertainment power structures. The industry's response to challenges of its authority often mirrors organized crime tactics. This realization fundamentally changed her understanding of how Hollywood operates.
And my son said to Sarah Gilbert, if my mother is a racist, then you shouldn't be making money on a racist work.
Yeah.
And, you know, they just tried to kill me, and I felt like they killed my character.
Roseanne Barr's journey from television icon to industry outcast reveals the dark underbelly of Hollywood's power structure. Her story serves as a cautionary tale about the price of non-conformity in an industry that demands absolute compliance with its unwritten rules. Through it all, she maintains her defiant spirit and continues to speak her truth, regardless of the consequences. As she puts it,
what other people say, I don't let it hurt me because that's about the person who's saying it, not about me. I'm not what they think I am, and I know that. I know who I am, and, you know, they're wrong.